In this practice, we'll be working on strengthening the muscles that support the pelvic area, especially the abductors and the adductors, the AD adductors and AB abductors. We'll also be creating a little bit more tone in our upper arms, little arm strength as we support ourselves in some of the poses. We'll begin kneeling. In a kneeling position, reach your right hand toward the top of the mat, not with the right shoulder over the wrist, pushing the mat away from you. Reach your left foot straight back and just notice the lineup of the knee and the arch of the foot. From here, see if you can lift your right knee off the mat. Now, if that feels like it's just not going to happen, don't worry. But see if you can lift it up and take it down. That involves a lot of core strength. So as you lift up and take it down, just notice how the hip muscles engage so nicely. Lift up and take it down. You have to really reach into the back foot, whether your knee is lifting up or not. Back leg stays strong as you lift up and take it down. Come to the opposite side. Reach your left hand toward the back of the mat. Take your right foot out. Get a nice lift of the hip. Plant the right foot very firmly as you root down through the right foot. You lift up the left knee. Again, if it's not lifting up, no worries. Just see if you can pull from the kneecap up toward the pelvis. Lift up, release down. Again, trying to align the arm so that the shoulder is not right over the wrist. You're reaching toward the end of the mat. As you root down through the right foot, lift up the left, release, and one more time. Root down to lift up, release out of the pose. Let's come to downward facing dog. And as you do, place your hands nice and wide apart, tuck your toes under, lift your pelvis up. And just come forward to see if maybe you need to create a little bit more space between your hands and your feet. If you come forward in a plank and you need to move your feet back, you know that that is a nice way to customize your downward facing dog. So you have this nice elongation of the spine. As you breathe in and breathe out, just bring your awareness to your breath. And now come back to a kneeling position with your right hand forward, same alignment where the angle is such that the shoulder is not right over the wrist to protect your wrist. As you reach forward with the right hand, extend your right leg out as far away from the hand as possible. Take the top left leg in front with the right leg very engaged on the baby toe side of the foot. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Two more. Root down to rise up and down. One more. Lift up and come down. Now let's turn to the opposite side. As you reach your left hand out, your top leg comes forward, The bottom left leg is reaching out with your left hand rooted, your left baby toe side of the foot rooted. Press down to rise up. Draw down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. You want to go slow and steady in your actions. We'll do one more. Really use your right foot to help you lift high before coming down. Start to feel the engagement of the outer hip muscles when you do this. Come to a standing position now. Step wide in your standing position. With your feet parallel, bend both knees, draw your heart forward, reach your hands to your right knee. Stack your hands as you bend your right knee deeper. The left inner thigh moves back as you straighten the leg. Draw your heart a little bit lower toward the top of the thigh. Press into the right knee to rise up. Come to the opposite side. Bend both knees first. Stack your hands on top of the left knee. Start to straighten the right leg. Bring the top of the right thigh back so you get this nice opening, nice engagement of the inner thigh muscles here. Pull your back foot in to help lift you up. One more time. Bend your left knee, stack your hands, draw down into the pose with this back leg doing that same engagement of the inner thigh muscles moving back. Press down to rise up. Same thing, opposite side. Draw deep into the pose before lifting yourself out of the pose. Now turn your right toes out. Look at the line up from the right heel to the back arch. It should be nicely aligned. Lift your arms up with fullness to the side body. Draw over to the right. Take your hand to the waist. Look down. Move the inner thigh way back, just like you did when both in that wide stance that we just did. Move the inner thigh way back. From there, draw from the tailbone down to get this feeling of lifting from the pubic bone up. From here, expand in your triangle pose. Get this nice fullness in the pose. From there, root down to gradually lift yourself up. Release your hands. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Once again, refine your alignment from the front heel to the back arch before creating this nice fullness in the pose. Take your left hand down. Take your right hand to your low back. Look down. Take the top of the right thigh back. Move the sit bones wide apart, and into that space, draw the tailbone down. Get this engagement where you lift from the pubic bone to the navel to expand and reach up. Keep this nice fullness in your pose, nice length in the spine, a smile on your face. Root down through the back foot to inhale and rise up. Release your hands. Now lie down on your back. Take your right arm up and let your right arm kind of be your pillow as you roll to the right side. On your right side, with your feet together and your knees bent, lift up your left knee, keep your feet together, and draw your left knee down. This seems very accessible. See if you can give just a little bit more pressure with your hand to your thigh so that the leg is resisting the action of the hand. So as the left knee lifts away from the right knee, the hand is offering some resistance. So you start to feel a nice engagement in the hip muscles there. You lift up, you draw down. Very accessible. But these are some muscles that we often go throughout our day not really engaging too much. Two more. Lift the knee up. Draw the knee back. Take the knee up. Now let the inner knees touch. And as they do, place your hands to your waist. Lift up your left foot away from your right. Release it down. So instead of the knee lifting, now it's the foot lifting. And down. And lift up. And down. As you move the foot, do it slowly and mindfully to engage these muscles that support the alignment of your pelvis. One more time, lift the foot up, release it down. Let's do the opposite side. With your knees together, your head supported, your feet together. Separate the inner knees, lift up and draw down. Lift up and down. The slower you go, the more mindfully, and the more you offer a little resistance to the upper leg in its movement, the more you'll find the engagement of the muscles that we're working with today. Reach up and down. Up and down. Two more. Slowly, evenly, you lift up and down and up and down. With your hand to the waist, with your inner knees together, lift the top foot away from the bottom foot and take it down. Lift up and down. Might be nice to have ankle weights for this one. Lift up and down and up and down and up and down. Now lying on your back, with your knees bent, your feet together, now your knees are wide apart. Place your elbows firmly into the mat as you take your arms in this robot form with the palms facing each other. Inhale, press the baby toe side of the feet. Lift your pelvis up, press your elbows down, press your head back, Get this nice fullness in the upper chest and draw your pelvis down. Same thing, root down through the elbows to get a lift in your heart. Lift your pelvis up. Draw slowly down. The slower you can make these movements, the more you engage the legs. Inhale, rise up slowly. Exhale, lower slowly. One more. Inhale, root down to lift your heart and lift your pelvis high. Exhale, slowly come down. Release your arms to your sides. Extend your legs out. And as you allow the pelvis to be heavy, your legs just naturally release. Your arms are supported nicely. Close your eyes. Find a natural and easeful rhythm to your breath. Soften your facial muscles. Breathe in deep and out long. Enjoy your Savasana. Namaste.